Välkomna till K-special. Mordet på Gustav III har satt mångas fantasi i rörelse och också iscensatts på många sätt genom historien. Men frågan är om inte den tolkning vi snart ska få se växa fram är den mest originella. Det är den brittisk-nigerianska konstnären Yinka Shonibare som har varit i Stockholm och arbetat med sitt första filmverk. Yinka, som i en rad uppmärksammade konstverk har lekt med sitt dubbla ursprung som afrikan och engelsman. I kvällens K-special får vi följa hans arbete med Maskeradbalen. Och det blir faktiskt världspremiär för detta verk som redan nominerats till Turnerpriset. För efter Victorins dokumentär visar vi en bit av den färdiga filmen.
Kamera. Action.
I actually want to seduce my audience, and I want to engage them. I want to produce something memorable. I don't want them to walk away and like nothing happened. And beauty is one way of doing that. Seduction is a way in which you can attract people. But I do hope that they then will think about the serious issues behind the things that they're looking at. Because I did a series of tableaus using photographs, and people always ask me this question many times, Yinka, your images are so cinematic, so film, why don't you do film? I'm hoping that it's an extremely beautiful piece because of the costumes, of course, and also that it's also political. It's a political piece. So I'm very interested in the relationship between seduction, beauty, power, and of course death. And he had actually been pre-warned that he was going to be murdered. I'm very fascinated by the story of the death of Gustav III at the ball. Now, this project came about because I produced a project for Moderna Museet. I was invited when Moderna Museet reopened to make a project that will be there for 3 years. And I wanted to find out something about Sweden and about the history here, and then we somehow got around to talking about the ball and when he was killed. And then, of course, the biggest sound is the sound of the gun. It's going to be nighttime and we're going to have candles. Okay, if I'm going to do film, they want me to do film in a museum, in a gallery. And I'm thinking, okay, so how do I see film in the gallery? And what I can just remember is this thing coming over and over again. And then I thought, okay, why not actually do a film which is about this?
Yeah.
So, of course, Lisa, the challenge for you now is how do you choreograph this thing? Any questions?
Our museum is the world's biggest museum of royal clothes, and we have 30 costumes from Gustav III. So the actual masquerade costume you see here that you are interested in special, yes, that Gustav III wore the 16th of March 1792. This is the actual costume. He had designed a special dress, the Swedish national dress that he and his court wore for daily use. Normally it was in black and red for daily use, but the king preferred he could allow himself to have other colors. And he liked this tricot material because he wanted loose-fitting clothes. And the masquerade thing about this, that's the domino coat and the mask and the hat. And also the star here, that's the star of the Noble Order of the Seraphim, And that was just the king and a few other persons that wore this. So everybody could see immediately that here comes the king.
Oh, I see. Okay.
But for the women, he had, shall see here now. Yeah, it looked a bit like this. The typical thing for the Swedish court ladies was this lattice sleeve. Yeah.
Because I'm designing costumes for all the dancers who are going to dance the ball. And so I will look at some Swedish historical costumes, but with a twist.
Vi arbetade ju med Yinka för den här halvpermanenta projektet som han gjorde till återöppningen av museet på Skeppsholmen. Och det var ju en väldigt lycklig process, kan jag säga, där han svarade väldigt fint omedelbart på, så att säga, de problem vi hade med byggnaden, de önskemål vi hade. Han svarade överraskande och snabbt och liksom väldigt kreativt och humoristiskt och sådär, va. Sen tog det kanske någon månad eller två, och då kom alltså kung Gustav III och maskeradbalen och det hela in. Och sen började han ju forska i det mer. Men, så att och Gustav III är ju då en intressant personlighet som jag tror sätter en konstnärs fantasi i spel väldigt mycket. Och det handlar ju om både om makt och om estetik och om konst och om nästan alla ingredienserna som finns just i Yinkas eget verk på något sätt finns i det här frågorna runt maskeradbalen.
Primarily, the reason I'm working as an artist is that there are, we live in a very complex world. All the conflicts in all the different parts of the world are always somehow connected to identity or people's views on identity. And so in my work, what I'm trying to do, because for me art is about imagination, and it's about showing that there is another possibility beyond what you already know. So that for me, art is about making the impossible possible. I do it through, by sometimes producing something provocative. I have a sense of humor. I want the work to be funny. Sometimes it's parody of something. It's playing with ideas of class, and it's very much also playing with the idea of desire. Art is very serious. People always really looking very serious when they look at art, and they don't laugh. And I think that's kind of, anyway, in a lot of artists, I think you can see their personality in their work, really. And I think that I can't really express my work in a different way. I have to express it the way that's somehow connected to my own personality, I think. And I think that, humor is one of those. I like to laugh about things, and I've kind of been through many serious situations, and and art, for my part, sometimes can be a bit humorless. So it's good to really do something that's kind of a bit more playful. Excited when I'm working.
Hela filmen och det här handlar väldigt mycket om hovdans och menuetter och hela faderitten från den tiden. Men det ska samtidigt vara lite finess med och lite inte riktigt så vackert och så tjusigt. Det ska finnas lite grann märkligheter eller någon slags dramatik under till den här courtmanship som man hade väldigt mycket på hovet.
I was, when I was 19, I was very ill. and I got a virus in my spine, which left me completely paralyzed from my neck downwards. And it took me a number of years to recover from that situation. I mean, of course, I'm not 100% physically recovered, but nevertheless, I went back to art school and I do my work. And so, I can see the funny side of a lot of things. And I, I don't take things like too seriously because, I understand that life is short, and so why get too serious, about things? It's good to celebrate life so I guess that's what I'm doing.
Jag visar härifrån, det går i 1, börja, släpp, bara huvud, 2. Det är liksom en känsla av hovdans och courting, att man liksom flörtar med the royals. Det är liksom grund i den. Man börjar med att gå bak, bam. 2.
Hur viktig är koreografin i detta Yinka Shonibare-projekt?
Jag vet inte om han vet det själv hur pass viktig den är, men han säger ju liksom att dansen är det centrala i det. Och då tolkar jag det som att det inte bara själva den fysiska dansen, alltså det är hovdansen som vi ska jobba med. Utan det är liksom hela rörligheten av bilden och kläderna och berättandet. Även det är en dans.
If it's difficult to find men, because we're short of men, thinking of having potentially some women as men.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
So just looking at who would be.
Jag bara vilja kalla upp så att jag får se lite grann hur den här potentiella gruppen ska se ut. Sebastian, ni bara kommer och ställer er åt ena sidan. Claudine, Christian, Annette, Jelne, Jakob, Stina. Tack så hemskt mycket för att ni kom allihopa. Hemskt ledsen att ni som inte kommer vidare. Det var jättebra. Okej, tack för idag. Hoppas jag gjorde rätt nu.
It was a very productive day. I think that Lisa worked very well with the dancers, and I've never really worked with dance, so I found it incredibly moving and very beautiful.
Hello! It's so nice to meet you again.
Yeah, nice.
Lovely house.
Yeah, this is my little office in here, and underneath this actually is a little painting studio I have, which is in the basement. And but most of my projects, the big projects, don't really happen here. They happen in workshops outside of here. So I just do mainly the research projects here, and of course it's my home, so I live here and I work here as well. On that wall is one of my own pieces, which was done for the Documenta editions. That's a bit of a funny piece there. It looks like a landscape, and they look like a cacti in a landscape, but of course they're not. They're little dildos that I wrapped in the fabric and then created this fake landscape. And it's called Dreamscape. This is the doll's house version of my house. Well, I mean, I like the house because it's an old-fashioned Victorian house. And I also like the fact that there's a little garden. And it's only a modest house, but in London it's actually quite an achievement if you own your own property, because they are, unfortunately, they have become very expensive, especially the old-fashioned places like this. My work is highly ambivalent. My relationship to class and the aristocracy is really ambivalent, because on the one hand, it's actually about desire for good things. poverty to me is ugly, and it remains ugly, and I don't necessarily seek such a deprived space. You know, I too, you know, believe it or not, want to have the good life. So even though I challenge the subjugation, if you like, brought about by aristocratic power, I also desire such power. So that my work is about the complexity of something that you challenge on the one hand and you desire it on the other.
You want to take us to a garden?
Yes, we can go to the garden.
So what are the similarities and the differences between this project and your previous work?
For me, it's quite challenging because it's a new medium. And so I have to learn a different language about, you know, basically how filming is done, and also film in relation to the history of other film that I actually like. But cinema is not so strange to people now generally anyway, because we all go to the cinema and we all have our preferences already. But I think it's really more, I'm not so concerned actually about the fact that the medium is different. It's a challenging for me, and I think it's very brave of Swedish television and also Moderna Museet to really give me the opportunity to try something new in my work. I'm very you know, happy about that. So that's really the main challenge for me, looking in a new direction.
So, now you're in London. Why are you here?
Well, I'm actually here to buy some fabrics for the project. And we're going to go to Brixton Market, where my fabrics come from.
These fabrics, they play a great role, really, in your artwork.
Yes, fabrics are, as you can see, we're in Brixton, and there are lots of Africans living here. So the fabrics are seen as African fabric, and people buy them if they want to express their Africanness. But then, of course, the fabrics are made in Holland, and they're made in Manchester. So designed by Dutch designers and English designers. So there's a kind of humorous side to that, because something which, on the one hand, is meant to express your Africanness, actually is not. But it's a very interesting area. I mean, Brixton, it's vibrant.
Hello.
Okay, the shop is slow down a bit because
It's an African shop?
Yeah, it's nursery fabrics. I'm going to buy some fabrics.
Where is it?
Slow down. Oh, here it is actually. Nursery fabrics, number 38.
Where?
Here.
Are you okay?
Yeah, I'm fine, yeah. I'm a bit slow, but I'm fine.
So this is your favorite shop?
Yes, this is my favorite fabric shop, and this is where I buy my fabrics from. Yeah, that one. This is what I actually think that Anne Canstrom, the woman, will be wearing, I think. I want to look now mainly for blue fabrics. So,
Blue.
yeah.
This is the broken plate in the new color.
So that's two big monkeys.
Yeah,
That's sugar cane.
that's a sugar cane.
That's broken plate.
That's a broken plate.
Okay, let me just look at what I have, then I can make some sense of what's going on. So, I'll take this one.
You're taking this one?
Yes, yes. You see this one's with a gold print. I like those. So also have that one.
This one?
Yeah. That one. No. Let's try
The
that.
darkish one.
No, I think I will just take this color. And then I think I'm
This
done.
one here?
Yeah.
This gentleman is a special customer. We always give him special prices.
Well, you know, the interesting thing about my work was that the whole thing, as you know, started as a joke. I was doing some work about perestroika in Russia. And one of my teachers came into my space and he said, but you're African, aren't you? Why are you making work about Russia? I mean, why don't you do traditional African art? And I thought, well, okay, what is traditional African art? You know, I'm a Nigerian who grew up in Lagos. And even though I was born in London, I grew up in Lagos and then came back here. And so I don't really know what authentic African art is. So I decided, okay, I would go to the market and get some African textiles and produce authentic African art. But it was just started as a joke, you know, just doing some paintings on that. And then I got requests to do more exhibitions, and it just grew from there, really.
And this was the shop, the actual shop that you went to the first
I've
time?
never bought from any other shop. I always buy from them.
What do you long for when you think of Nigeria?
The warmth of the people. People are very friendly and take time to talk to you and spend time. You know, people seem to have more time and they're more friendly. They're warm somehow. I mean, I miss the warmth, really, of the country and just the kind of friendly, cheerful nature of the people. I mean, London is quite a nice city and it's very multicultural, and it's a great place to be, but it's very stressful. People are just working like crazy just to pay their mortgages and so on. And so I've reached a stage in my career now where I actually enjoy the more quiet cities. And in Stockholm, it's a completely different thing. And for that reason, I think I like Stockholm very much. Hello. Right, okay. Now I'm ready, I can think. Basically, there are 30 characters here. And each section is basically showing you what each character is going to have. Combination of 3 colors. Okay, for example, the outer garment, what you see on the bench is this. The next one
is the skirt.
up, is the skirt.
And then you have the bodies.
Yeah, and then the bodies is the third fabric.
We can cover this with something, whatever.
That you can have as it is, but just simply dye it. Dye it in the complementary of what's on the outside.
Okay.
I took out some samples for lace.
Which is the closest to what they would have used?
This.
Okay, so take that. Take everything close to the original, but with this difference in color. Because basically what I try to do is to take the real thing, but to make a problem with it.
Jag har alltid jobbat med svenska dräkten, Gustav III kostymer i originaltyger, sammet och svart, röd, gul, blå. Så kändes det här, något nytt.
Ja, det är på axelvingarna här som jag har satt lite stor vipp på här. Det var lite kul, sådana detaljer. Jag vet att Anita har gjort, hon satt ärmuppslagen och gjort så att 5:an är väldigt tydlig där. Sådana detaljer tycker jag är roliga.
Det här tycker jag är ett favorittyg. Det är blå och gröna. Och mönsterna i tyget är så snygga så att det blir båder på det här viset.
Hur delaktig känner du dig i det här konstverket som du faktiskt jobbar med?
Jo, men det gör man, tycker jag, som hantverkare. Man är med och tolkar någons grundidé.
People might say to me, well, but why are you always using the same fabrics? Why don't you just use other things? But I see that as, I see my career really as a book, and each new piece I make is the next chapter. And I use the fabric as a way to hold my audience through the same story. So I am simply, throughout my life, I guess until I die, writing different chapters of one single book.
Hello.
Hello.
How are you?
Nice to see you again.
Nice to see you.
Yeah. So this is that the entrance?
Yes, this is the main entrance.
She's walking. The actress is walking towards the building. We film her from very, very low and from behind. Okay. So people don't know who she is. Wow. And Lisa, I would also like to show you the storyboards, what I was thinking of. If you imagine that the chairs are the dancers, so shoot the entire space, and the chairs are just the heads of the people. So the choreography at that time is in the head. Mm. What can you see, actually? Let me see what you can see in your camera. Oh, great, wow. And what happens if you turn it around this way to give us some more of the view? Oh, fantastic. You see, that's what I'm thinking, yeah. Yeah, and then turn it around the other way. Yeah, wonderful, wonderful. I've decided, actually, the piece is going to be a series of frames, changing. Yes. A series of very beautiful picture frames. It's like you open an album. And each frame, really, I'm thinking, each frame should look like a painting. I mean, each frame is, on its own, is a piece of art, each frame. I mean, I actually started my career as a painter, so even though I work with installation and I work with some photography, and now I'm trying to work with film. But that's kind of my roots is in painting. Film and painting are extremely related in the way that painting and photography are very closely related. And so there is a natural link. So basically think of this as us not trying to recreate history, but trying to recreate a dream version, something which is moving beyond it. So it's not historical accuracy, it's it's poetic license with history. It's going one step further so that everything is more beautiful than it should be.
Okay.
Yeah.
Really Hollywood.
Yeah. In a way, kind of kitsch over kitsch.
Kitsch over Hollywood.
Yeah, kitsch, like really over the top, yeah.
Har du tagit kjolen efter att hade kört? Jag gillar den här, alltså att dyka tillbaks i historien och samtidigt jobba på ett väldigt modernt sätt. Dels med filmen förstås, filmtekniken, men sättet att tänka med de två historiska perspektiven och de geografiska perspektiven som han blandar in med de afrikanska tigrarna och Sverige som vit stormakt på den tiden. Den kontrasten tycker jag är väldigt inspirerande. Ta ett litet håll på den andra. Så da-da-dam, da-da-dam. Ba-ba-bam, ba-ba-bam. Så det var en extra liten... Ett sug innan man sätter ner.
Well, I very much like the fact that I'm actually working with Victorin. who is a choreographer, and I've never actually worked with dance before. But when I thought about the idea for this story, I thought that, since I've anyway always wanted to do something with dance, this would be a great opportunity to actually express the story of this film in dance. Wow, his stuff is fantastic. It's got these fans. Wow. That's fantastic. I want it. Some of these costumes, I think that once they're all done, it'll be quite amazing.
Rumpa, titta. Ja, jättefint.
I think the costumes are really amazing. They're very beautiful. I saw one of the, women dancers trying on a costume, and the way she moved in this costume was incredible, because already just having the dress on changed the way she was walking. I don't even think she realized I was looking at her when she was doing this. But, and it's quite incredible how the character is already developed just from trying on the clothes.
Ska du ta den andra masken?
Den andra masken.
Yinka har ju inte jobbat med tv eller film förut, och det har inte Lisa heller. Va? Så jag försöker så att säga hitta jämkningspunkter då, med fotografen och med koreografen och med konstnären här. Om man vill göra en viss sak så kan jag kanske ett fackuttryck som fotografen kan förstå. Tilta, zooma eller vad det nu kan handla om. Så det är min uppgift. Jag ska inte vara konstnärlig, utan jag ska försöka tolka vad det är de vill ha i bild.
Gör någon lite snabbare huvudrörelse. Jag tittade framförallt efter att kunna se konturen på en rörelse i de här brokiga färgerna. Och jag såg att det blev faktiskt ganska otydligt. Mycket av de detaljerna som vi har jobbat med. Men å andra sidan så förstärktes själva uttrycket, det här kungligheten, dramatiken så.
You usually have a special Yinka mark, I think, in your pieces of work. In what way will you twist reality this time?
Well, I mean, in this project, in the original ball, historically, the murderer, was a man. And in this piece, I actually thought, why not make Ankanstrom a woman? Because I thought that would actually be very strong, and it would, and also I'm thinking of making Gustav III himself a woman who is dressed as a man, because I didn't want a situation where a woman kills a man. It seems a bit too simple. So I wanted to create a kind of ambivalent male figure that then gets killed by a woman, which I think it actually makes it more complex. And of course, the fact that they're wearing 18th century costumes, 18th century Swedish costumes, done in African textiles. That's already a twist on the whole thing. And it's a dance piece, so that's already another interesting angle as well.
How come gender and power and sex is such a big part of what you're always dealing with in your art?
Well, I guess gender, power, sex, they are really the stuff that life itself is made of, you know, and there are things about, you know, life and death, really. They are fundamental human issues, and they are forever fascinating. They've been fascinating for thousands of years, and I'm sure they will continue to be so.
Här tror jag att vi ska också bryta någonstans för att få jättehög bild.
Ja.
Och sen gå på de där svevande damer. Kungen hjälps upp. Och så fortsätter man. Mitt yrke är att översätta från regissörens huvud och få det ut på bioduken. Det är ett hantverk och ibland hantverket lyckats bli konstverk. För det mesta så filmar vi ord. Han vill inte filma ord, så det är kanske det som är skillnaden. Han vill se kroppar, han vill se... Ja, han ändå lägger upp ett koreografi. Men han ändå vill göra en film, han ändå vill berätta en historia.
Jag ska bara se vad det var Yinka ville.
So I'm just wondering, I would like to actually
Just to see it
hear it without the music, yeah. Because the piece is actually about that. It's the sounds that they're making, you know, with the rhythm of their feet and the real sound of the piece. Yeah.
So tell me about your favorite dresses here.
Well, I like Ankanstrom's dress. It's really amazing. She's got these dynamite patterns on the front part. And where the dynamite explodes is a heart sign, a sign of love, which I think is very interesting. And then there is a Chanel dress, a dress with Chanel No. 5 on the back. I think it's very beautiful. And there's a blue dress here with stars on it, which I think is very beautiful. It's got orange stars, and the color combination I think is great. I just want to say, well, you know, thanks very much for what you've done so far. And it's going to be, I guess, it's going to be quite a tough week. But I guess we're all going to be as professional as we can be. And then for many reasons, it's going to be my birthday on Monday. And also I was nominated for the Turner Prize in London. And I thought, as a way to celebrate all of these things and the project that we're doing, if you can come and, you know, boogie with me on the 14th, so we're going to have a party. Well, being nominated for the Turner Prize is unbelievable, really, because it's recognized globally, all over the world. Just to be named for this prize is really unbelievable for me, because especially somebody, you know, coming to Britain as an outsider in a way, as I see myself. It means that actually, you know, my efforts are respected and acknowledged. And I hope that that then means that I will be able to actually say more of what I'm trying to say with my work and get heard.
Vi har en rad här med
med 4 stycken chimeror och det är 2000 watt där bakom dem så att säga. Och sen har vi, och det får väl vara någon slags sidoljus. Och sen har vi de här lanternorna som står runt om. Och de kommer vi gå omkring, ställa ut där de inte är i bild så att säga. Det beror på, alltså det är ju scenerierna som styr egentligen kan man säga.
Är det priset eller? Nej.
Det ser rätt bra ut.
Det ser, eller hur? Everybody is very professional and I trust that people will do their job. You know, it's going to be hard. I don't think it's going to be that simple, but really this is the making of the work is the difficult part but also the fun part.
På vilket sätt har det här varit ett speciellt projekt för dig som dansare?
Kanske inte som dansare utan som bara att få vara med på det här och göra den här rollen och den här karaktären. Och det är nog roligast.
Det går ju liksom inte med stubb. Man kan inte ha stubb. Antingen måste det vara en hel hårtofs, skägg. Helst orange. Eller något med färg eller glitter i. Men vi kör den rakare stilen istället. Lite modernt får det väl ändå vara.
Little twist of culture.
Little twist of culture, oh yes.
We should start with this very special shot. It will take a little bit time, so be patient. It's a very tricky shot.
Because it's important for me that when the scene opens, it's very important that it looks abstract.
Okay, so we have the long pan over the walls, and then
We're trying to make a film about wigs. Yeah, we're just make it like that. That we're trying to make a film about wigs, advertising wigs.
måste visa Yinka, för det är ett jävla jobb och det kommer ta tid. Så bara vi är överens om hur det ska se ut.
Jag har trott att det här skulle gå fort. Va? Det här är precis den situation som inte går fort.
If we start it from the front, but like the very top of the heads, and we just come down slowly. Yeah, should we try that one?
We try this one.
The interesting thing about this project for me is that I know zero about film. I know absolutely nothing about film, but I am learning as I go. I'm working with a lot of very clever, knowledgeable people. And I think that this is really what an artist should do, face a new challenge and see what happens.
Kan ni ta ett steg bakåt, tack? Och vi gör bara en dropp. Droppar kamera.
It's getting warmer, it's getting better. And up more.
Fortsätt uppåt.
It's getting even better, yeah, even better. Great, stop.
Prepare for a take. Camera. Action. Cut.
Yeah, good. Yeah, good.
Well done.
That's it. Well done. Yeah. I mean, it's hard to get a beautiful shot. I really feel sorry for, the dancers.
Det är mest jobbigast är ju faktiskt att stå. Så stå och vänta så länge så känns det i korsryggen. Så det är bättre när vi får röra på oss mer.
Hur ser du på din rollkaraktär, Ankarström?
I och med att nu det känns som att hon skiljer sig lite grann mer också från de andra. Så är nästan ännu mer utsatt. Men ganska så här lite mörk. Lite farlig. Men det är säkert bara för att jag är kvinna. Alltså att vi gjorde henne till en kvinna.
How do you feel?
Yeah, I feel great. It's, it's working very well. It's some, slight difficulties in the beginning, but it's towards the end. I think really it's just a case of all of us getting used to working together. And we have to find a language, and it's now working. No, it's been great having Maxa here. She's been very supportive, and I really appreciate that, and she knows, you know.
It was great fun. I'm doing a PhD on film theory and history, so that's, so I'm an academic. So he's the artist and I'm the academic.
Yes, I mean, you know, we talk about the ideas all the time. So we have a good exchange of ideas.
So what do you think of what you've seen?
Today, I think the last shot we did was really difficult, and I wouldn't have imagined that it can take 3 hours to take a 20-second shot. So that was very interesting and very suspenseful.
That looks amazing.
Yeah.
This is the first time I sort of see,
Wow.
I see it for real. Not only in my imagination, you know. Oh, look at that.
Hur stort är det här projektet för Moderna Museets del?
Det är väldigt stort. Alltså, vi är ju överraskade över oss själva, höll jag på att säga. Bara den del som vi har gått in i, så är det ju ett stort projekt därför att både organisatoriskt och för vår del ekonomiskt. Samtidigt som ju vi har nu då ett partnerskap, inte minst med SVT förstås, som ju har tagit en ännu större del.
Är det befogat att göra sådana här stora satsningar från SVTs sida när det gäller konstprojekt?
SVT har ju som ett av sina uppdrag att samarbeta med de stora viktiga kulturinstitutionerna i Sverige. Det är ju faktiskt någonting som vi gör med stor glädje, och att kunna jobba med Moderna Museet på ett sätt där vi inte bara skildrar en utställning på Moderna Museet utan bidrar till att göra ett konstverk. Det tycker jag är jättespännande.
Och i vårt fall så är det också unikt genom att det är ett av de riktigt viktiga konstnärskapen i vår tid som gör någonting som liksom går rakt in också i svensk historia och i en svensk situation. Och det gör ju att det blir väldigt, om inte vi griper in och försöker realisera det, så kommer ju ingen annan att göra det.
Lisa, ska vi köra det?
Ja, ni kan börja när ni är klara.
Ja. Det är repetition.
Ja, jag vet.
That's fine. I think that shot, most of the drama of it will be done in sound, post-production. So, yeah, I think that's fine.
Men sen bara dröja lite mer så vi ser ännu mer kropp innan hon kommer fram och går upp.
Så vi ska
släppa lite tidigare.
Okej.
Så du får inte släppa henne.
Ja, men det jag gör att då börjar jag gå lite rättare över vägen
Precis,
istället
så då blir hon
för...
större. Och sen kan du gå efter och så stannar vi någonstans här.
Okej, now is the action. Stå still.
Perfekt.
Great. Fantastic.
I think that's better.
Wow, yeah, that's good, yeah. No, that's it.
The second was better. You was better light, you was smoke with
Tack så mycket.
You was beautiful.
Vi är färdiga.
Thank you very much.
I've been thinking about this shot for months. Months and months and months. And, thank you very, very much. First of all, I want to obviously do the natural thing and say thank you for this opportunity because obviously every artist would, well, jump at the opportunity to try something like this. It's been a bit risky, but I have to say that I've been very surprised. It's been very good here. I've made some very nice new friends here, and I've learned a lot as well. And now when people mention to me, the director of a film, I now know really what they're doing. And I know how painful the process can be. Okay, I'll let you watch the film and we can talk after. Thanks. Feel free to ask me anything you want to ask me. I'm happy to now be in the firing line. But, so anyway, Lars, this is on Swedish television and ESPIS. Thank you so much for, accommodating me and letting me do this project. And this is how we spent your money. And finally, Anne, I have to say that we have had a good time together. but I will be very happy to give you your mic back so that I can have some privacy.